When assessing low back pain, everyone is different. We do not all have low back pain for the same reason. But here are the two main categories of low back pain, most common ones. And almost everyone will fall into one of those two areas to some degree. People who have low back pain because they're not active enough, and people who have low back pain even though they are active, possibly even athletes. So two main categories. First category is actually very simple to understand. A lot of people from first category, as soon as they start doing some kinds of workouts, they're gonna feel better. Why? Because low back pain is centered in somewhere close to our center of mass. So if you lack movement, the main area where it's gonna hit you hard is gonna be your low back. This is like your main support area. This is like where everything goes from. So there's a high chance your low back will hurt if you're not active enough. Okay, now the second type of low back issues. Some kind of athlete. Main cause for them will usually be lack of proper training. It's mostly gonna be about creating huge imbalance in their backs. It's like a center of our kinetic chain. If you have issues, they're most likely gonna show there. Now, because of the huge imbalance that the athletes create, there's often gonna be some mechanical issues when their body moves. Because of the stuff they're doing, because of their workouts, they're teaching their bodies some bad movement mechanics. For most of the athletes, the solution is gonna be very simple. You gotta hit those stabilizing muscles. You gotta teach how to move your body from left to right, how to properly rotate, under load. This is where a lot of athletes will be weak. Now, if you have an athlete test one of these movements, the athlete might think that she is actually good at those movements because they perform better than an average person. But the problem is, if an athlete can squat 300 kilos, your side movement, your rotation, should be also very strong. Not slightly stronger than the average person, like really strong. And a lot of athletes never develop that. Main reason is because nobody thinks about it. Second reason is nobody cares because it's only about how high you can squat. Third reason is boring. Why take a band and just go left and right or do some kettlebells? It all seems boring to athletes. They much rather take a bunch of kilos, put it on the bar and just move in that sagittal plane as much as they can. I agree, it's fun, but long term it's not good. You always have to look at your body as a whole. And even though you can specialize over time, become better at some things, you never want some of your areas to be here while the other areas should be somewhere down here. That's a recipe for all kinds of issues. If this wasn't the case, you would have a bunch of Chinese powerlifters just doing bar clean and snatch and no supplementary work. So if you're an athlete and you have low back pain, you have weaknesses that have to be addressed.